and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Tri-State Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Monster BTK, the latest installment of the critically acclaimed Monster franchise, exposes the chilling story of one of America's most infamous cases that shook Wichita, Kansas to its core.
When people said BTK, you think of a wild-eyed Manson-like character. What we didn't understand is he was the guy next door.
Listen to Monster BTK on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Monster BTK to start listening.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Wow, 2024 just flew by, but I'm sure ready now for 2025. My favorite way to start the new year is to make my home feel like new with Zero-Res carpet and air duct cleaning. Only Zero-Res uses the advanced patented process ZR water for a superior long-lasting clean. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpet clean, only $119. Mention me, Bill Cunningham, a free hallway cleaned, free. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroSensi.com. It's the right way to clean.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Let Express Employment Professionals help you hire for contract or full-time jobs. Forget about recruiting, sifting through resumes, and interviews with unqualified applicants. Go to expresspros.com to find the location near you. That's expresspros.com.
Don't get left in the cold. Now is the time to tune up your heating system with Tempstar. Regular maintenance on your heating system stops breakdowns, increases efficiency, and improves comfort. Call Tom Reckton Heating and Air Conditioning at 859-261-8269 to schedule a tune-up. Tempstar, quality you can feel.
Are you drowning in IRS tax debt?
I owe the IRS $37,000.
Get ready for a toll-free hotline. Take advantage of new IRS tax forgiveness programs that may protect you from IRS collection agencies. They have the power to garnish your wages, put liens on your property, and levy your bank account. Civic Tax Relief can help protect you from the IRS.
Civic Tax Relief basically represented me against the IRS, and by the time everything was completed, I didn't owe the IRS anything.
Find out about the Fresh Start program that is now available through Civic Tax Relief. Civic Tax Relief's special tax hotline can help you discover all the relief programs available for free.
I would recommend anyone who has a tax problem to contact Civic Tax Relief.
Just call 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803. Don't wait. Call now. 800-506-5803. 800-506-5803.
Welcome to Monday. Sloaney here, 700 WW. Shut up, Sloan. Welcome to Monday. When is welcoming Monday in? Unless you work, Saturday, Sunday, and today's your day off. Then you're welcoming it. It's Sloaney back on 700 WW. Hope you had a good one. Talking about the wildfires in California. Nothing new here, baby. That area of California was meant to burn. Meant to burn when you think about it. I mean, it's a grassland. Grass burns. Santana winds, fuel. You have bad land management policies. You have governments that can't say no, or people just simply have the hubris going, yeah, but this view is really nice. Yeah, but you're putting your house on a tinderbox. Yeah, but. I mean, if you just looked at the topography of California and went, it's absolutely gorgeous. I would safe to say, can you name me everyone has their biases here, but name me an area of the country just by, take everything else out of it. Just look at the land. Look at the topography. Look at it, the climate and everything. I mean, from Frisco all the way down to San Diego, you can't find a more gorgeous climate and view, all the things you look for when you're looking to live in a place, which is why so many people back in the day were attracted to California when it exploded, when L.A. blew up, but all the way from Frisco all the way down. And you just look at how gorgeous the climate and the conditions are. Sure, I totally get that. But back when they started this, I went, well, we've got a lot of grass around here. What if we just pave that over and put some buildings up? Well, okay, and then you can't take too much of the grass away. And native species, well, yeah, you can. And we're going to plant some ornamentals in there now. And so now looking at reason going, okay, now we're starting to make exemptions. And that's human nature is we don't want joy. We want the view. It's gorgeous. Look at it. Look at the view I have. How many people in Cincinnati in the 7 Hills live at the top of those 7 Hills if they have that kind of money? And you go, damn, this is gorgeous. How many people pay the big vig at Kenwood Country Club to enjoy Ken View? Because that course at that country club, arguably the best view in the city. It's gorgeous, right? But you pay big money. And when that kind of real estate, whether it's a house or a country club, you're paying big money for that. Oh, look at the view. The view I have. This is an incredible view. It's the view. Not the TV show, the view, the real view. But then you got to look past like, well, all right. What do I have to face here? Now, if I live atop a mountain, like, I don't know, maybe you live out in Colorado. You think that's the best view. Okay, great. But if I'm living on a mountain, I got mountain problems now. Getting there, I've got rock slides, I've got mudslides, I've got avalanches. I got to worry about some big stuff here. I go to California. I go from California, go to, let's say, Florida. Yeah, look at this beach view. This is the best view in America. This is the best place in America. Weather's great every day. It's great. 3 months of the year, it's really hot and humid. But my God, I'm on the Gulf. I got no cares in the world. I'm going to build this place right on the ocean. I can get up. I can go to bed and wake up in the morning and have the best view in the world. Look at this. Yeah, but that hurricane comes in, and all of a sudden, how good is the foundation on that? How good are those pillars that are sunk down to the bedrock? How good were the people building this? And now that's starting to happen more frequently. So I built this place right on the water, and it gets blown up, and then I got to rebuild, and it gets blown up again. And so I then go, well, what about Arizona? I don't have to worry about the ocean, the wildfire. Okay. How you doing on water? Not so good. I live in Phoenix. I live in Scottsdale. They've got a huge water crisis out there. It's drying up. How do I get my water now? Because the states that have the water don't really want to share more because they got their own water to worry about. By and large, we just simply go into places we shouldn't be. Mother Nature is undefeated, baby, for a reason. I'm not saying, hey, we got to pull out of those states. We're there. We're going to be there for a long time. But how much of that finger pointing should be at us for the hubris that we have as human beings to not look at, well, Mother Nature is Mother Nature. She is the mother she's number one for a reason. She's number one for a reason. Back to California, though, and we're talking about insurance, here in Ohio. I'm glad to hear that according to our insurance expert, Ron Snowfer, he said, well, it's more of a regional thing, and it's regional for a reason. And this makes total sense to me that, well, do you really want to pay the price for what's happening for the topography, for the climate, for the things in Florida or California? No. So it tends to be more regional. It also has to do with policies because each state controls insurance policy. And so it's different state to state to state. Now, I would say that Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Midwest is got a different feel than certainly the Northeast, than certainly the Southwest, than certainly California or down in Florida or mid-Atlantic states. And so that's why you have that regionalism going on when it comes to insurance prices. And maybe so because we're less inclined. Things we got to worry about here are tornadoes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Occasionally we get a lot of snow, maybe some rain, but largely it's tornadoes, the big one for us. I don't have to worry about droughts or earthquakes as much. I don't have to worry about wildfires in Ohio. And so that tends to be more regional. One of the reasons why they do this is they break it up into regions, but there's so much state control. I mean, the state laws of California comes to insurance much different than Florida, and those two together probably don't even pale to what's going on in Ohio. We're the least of the problems. It's 513-749-7800, the big one. It's Talkback on the iHeartRadio app. If you want to hit me up there, and of course on X and Facebook at Scott Sloan. Over to White Oak and Logan. Morning, Logan. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just out here trying to get a day's work in.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to work a lot harder when you look at these insurance rates across the country, including here in Ohio.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just looked at my policy, and now my monthly payment is going to go up $180 a month. starting in February.
For homeowners, auto, what are you talking about?
Yeah, for homeowners.
Okay.
And it's just becoming unaffordable for a lot of people, including myself. And
Right.
I don't understand why we can't take the value of a house and say your house is $100,000 value, basically the same way they do for appraisals and other things, and why we can't just say you get to pay $120 a month for the value of every $100,000, and it'd just be a one-shot thing. And then it would take care of people that don't have flood insurance because they live in the mountains. It makes sense, right? Like, why would you?
Yeah. I mean, do I need flood insurance if I live in Asheville, North Carolina? I'm on top of a hill. I don't need that, but clearly you did for the storm, this once-in-a-lifetime storm that blew. I do know from my limited knowledge, I know that certainly geographic risk has should we be paying? I think most people look at it and go, wait a minute, wait. Should I be paying to bail out Florida or California? I don't have to worry about hurricanes or wildfires. That then keeps our rate lower. I mean, if we don't like what we're paying here, imagine living in Florida. Imagine living in California. Quick example before I let you go on here, Logan. One of my people I know who moved from Cincinnati and retired to Florida not long ago. Flood insurance, for example, down in Florida. And they're not in a huge floodplain area in Fort Myers. I forget what they're rated there, but basically where they are, it's not too bad, but it's still Florida. You get hurricanes. Decided he looking at his insurance policy going, like, we had a hurricane and like, okay, well, the water pulled up. I think he was like a couple yards from penetrating his house and said, damn it, I think I'm good. Drops his insurance. Well, next one comes along and now it's like 2 feet from his house. So he tries to go back, and in the, I think 2 or 3 years since it lapsed, it went, I want to say, this is top of my head, me with numbers, so forgive me, but it was something like the policy went from $600 a month to like $1,800 a month.
Right.
So you look at that and go, who the hell can afford that? But if you'd kept it, you'd still be paying the same $600. So just to get in the market down there is crazy.
Yeah. And I understand geographical things are going to make the prices go up, but I just feel like if that's into the price, right, of like, okay, you live along the coast. If you're 100 miles away from the coast in Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, you are going to pay a higher price, right? Like it should be sectioned off. But it just be a one-rate thing because even as you mentioned with the other guy, nobody knows how to read these policies. I can't do it. Like you said, you got to be a lawyer to understand it. And I don't know what I'm paying for, to be honest with you. And then when I finally need help, right, and then this same thing for auto insurance, I come to you, I say, hey, what's going on? And then we feel like the little man's getting screwed.
Yeah, I feel the squeeze every day, and I there much I can do about it. My brother's my agent, so I got to shut the hell up and write the check, but it doesn't mean I like it. But he hears this a lot too. I'm gonna tell you what, the insurance guys are getting beaten to death too. And I don't care which company you work for, or which insurance you work for, that the agents and the frontline people are getting hammered on rates all the time. People are dropping left and right trying to go and find the best deal, but it doesn't mean the best coverage. Sometimes the best coverage, and if you're able to have a little bit of cash on the side to take those higher deductibles is more preferred. But how many people have an extra? I don't know. Your deductible goes from $1,000 to $10,000. How many people have an extra $10K laying around that they're not going to feel? Not many.
Yeah, we just went from maybe 60% down to 15%.
Yeah, and I know with auto insurance, this is really interesting. Logan, I'll let you go. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you listening.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. The auto insurance market, for example. Like, damn, my auto rates are going crazy. One of the things that I've heard, this is fascinating to me, is how private equity comes in and they find, private equity is such a hated term, right? Private equity destroyed Frisch's Big Boy. It destroyed Frisch's is no longer because of greedy private equity. Now, private equity comes in and they're the vultures. They pick the carcass off the scraps. That bird's already dead or dying by the time PE comes in usually. Or someone goes, hey, you know what? I'm cashing out my chips. Here comes private equity. We'll take care of it. Here's your money. See you later. It's the American dream. I don't, fault the Frisch's family for cashing out and going to PE. That happens. But make no doubt about it, private equity does not care that you went to dinner at Frisch's Big Boy with your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents. They don't care about that. They care about turning a profit, which is why you will see Frisch. You may not see the Frisch's stores around, but you will see the Frisch's tartar sauce in perpetuity. You'll see the pumpkin pie in some way, shape, or form in perpetuity. Can't say much about the hot fudge cake, but those two things you're going to see, especially that tartar sauce, because that's a profit center right there. We break things up. We divide it, go, here's some money here. We can make money off of this. We can't make money. That's what private equity does. Don't have to like it. There's no human side to it. There's no emotion. It's just fact and it's just money. And that's cold. That's cold, man. I get you. I totally get you on that one. But when it comes to the auto insurance thing, private equity comes and goes, you know what? We've got some money to make here. So it used to be that you go to your auto insurer, and let's say I'm in a situation where you hit me, okay? So I'm the victim. You're the victim of an accident. Happens all the time, especially with the fact that we can't drive in Cincinnati when there's a little bit of snow, and also the fact we're just bad drivers in general. The roads are in the condition that they are. A whole host of factors. A lot of accidents. Get in an accident. Okay. Man, I got injured. I think it hurt my shoulder. So, attorney comes along, goes, hey, man, we can get you some money. Okay, sit down, meet with that attorney. Good. There's only so much money that attorney can invest in this case, meaning that if I'm going to do the hit the ground, I'm going to do some research, I'm going to do some fact finding, I'm going to try and get you the best money because I have to investigate. Investigation costs money, right? You have to have investigators. You get the facts. And the more facts you have on your side, the more money you can get out of the insurance companies. Great. So private equity comes in and goes, you know what? What if we started banking the lawyers? What if we got in bed with attorneys? So now we go, here, Mr. Attorney, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put money in the front end for you, meaning that you want to go and get your experts. You want to fly people in for a case, a testimony, for a discovery, and all these things. Here's a bunch of money. You go get the best you can get. The insurance company sees this and goes, whoa, a second. We start getting the litigation and investigation. Now, we have corporate attorneys, to be sure. They're very good about this, keeping our costs down and our losses as low as possible. But we're outmanned here because each one of these firms now is going to have a relatively unlimited bankroll to fund their discovery, meaning it ain't good for us. And as you know, in a court of law, it's not who's right or wrong. It's who has the best attorney. I'm not saying we have the perfect system in America. It's the best system, but that's far from perfect. And so private equity money gets involved and throws it at these accident insurance guys. And those lawyers go, okay, well, now we can do some serious work here. And so now the insurance company is like, damn it, we're outgunned, we're outmanned, we're going to settle. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to settle for a lot more money than they used to settle for. And now you multiply that by countless personal injury attorneys and countless accidents, and now all of a sudden those costs start going through the roof because the settlements are much higher, the payouts are much bigger. You make not only the insurance, you make the victim whole, but you now enrich the pockets of that attorney who really only got to pay a cut back to private equity. They're going to get their money back because, well, you're talking about mass commodities here. It's not just one attorney. It's probably thousands of attorneys out there, tens of thousands of attorneys that are taking advantage of this. And the result is your insurance rates go up. And so you look at this going, damn it, last month my bill was this year my bill, I'm paying like $500 more a year. I'm paying a couple $100 more a month for insurance. Why is that? Now, there's a lot of factors. This is one of them, but it's a great illustration as to how we got to where we are right now. That you're essentially paying for profit is what you're doing. The insurance companies are getting squeezed, and people are angry at the insurance companies going, why is this costing so much? It's costing so much out of our policies is because private equity got in bed with the attorneys and the personal injury, like Willie, for example. Does Willie need more money? The answer, of course, is hell no. Now, as an American, as a capitalist, I go, well, you know what? Get what you can get. It's America. I know it's popular these days to vilify insurance companies, popular to vilify people who are billionaires and, they eat the rich. And I saw a great bumper sticker there, compost the rich. Well, that's a new one. Compost the rich on the back of your Toyota, whatever it was, a hybrid vehicle. You got to compost the rich, which I always thought, well, that's an aside there. It's a lot. Write that bumper sticker if you put that up there and go, yeah, well, what's the rich to you? To compost the wealthy. Well, that's people who make more than $1 million. So we should have caps at how much money you can make? Because, if you're a globalist, I'd look at that and go, well, Americans, if you took American compared to other nations, I'm talking all nations out there, not just developed nations, but all nations, you, Mr. Prius driver, Mr. Compost the Rich, you should be composted in the eyes of the rest of the world. Most of the rest of the world has 99-point-something% less wealth than we do as your poorest Americans. So, again, it's in the eye of the beholder. The Compost the Rich guy doesn't understand how rich he is because he's an American who has that kind of hubris and can put a bumper sticker on it. Really, it doesn't think it applies to him when it does, when it really, really does. But I digress. I get it. It's vogue to go after, and always has been, the wealthy, the rich in this country. I have no problem with somebody making a profit. Whether you're an attorney, private equity, you go where the money goes. And the money, as we say with Simply Money, quite honestly, is not blue or red, it's green. And greed does what it does. Now, there's got to be some rails in place. There's got to be some markers there and some fairness, which government fails at consistently. And there's got to be fair play for everybody, not just for the select few. And, it's a different topic entirely. But I look at insurance and go, okay, I get how the game is played. And I've got to pay now $500 more for the insurance I had yesterday per month. How the hell am I supposed to stay in my life? How the hell am I supposed to succeed here? Good question. But, it's not the greedy insurance companies necessarily. There's a lot of factors in play as to why our insurance is where it is right now. And I would say, and maybe I'll save this for a little bit later on too, a lot of this has to do with our own hubris. I mean, you've got some very, very wealthy people. When you talk about some of the most pristine, most beautiful views in the world here in the United States of America, I'd say California, Florida, as I mentioned before. But if you're building your house in a place where hurricanes always hit, boy, I hope you have the money to be able to afford to rebuild that thing every few years. Well, I'll just get insurance for that. Well, you can afford the insurance going up and up, but the problem is you have to have people to, clean your house, work on your car, fix your plumbing, your electricity. And the end result is anytime you have big wealth like that, it's going to draw out there support. For every wealthy person, you have countless people behind the scenes who are selling the stuff they need to fulfill their lavish lifestyle. Those people really can't afford it. And that's, I think, where the bottom falls out. And California is magnified there. If you look at California, you've got people with, and I know a lot of people, it's kind of hard to empathize with multi-million-dollar, people like, I saw John Goodman's house burned down. God, that's terrible. I mean, there's nothing left. You feel badly for him. He's like, yeah, he's probably insured. He's maybe even self-insured. He's got John Goodman money, for crying out loud. But the people down further into the trough, like me and you, not so much. I know someone whose niece lost everything, and they were underinsured because they couldn't afford it. What the hell are they going to do? And that's not John Goodman money. That's like Scott Sloan or you money, which is very little money for that matter. How the hell are you going to survive out there? Can you survive? And what happens when it comes to rebuilding California? Only to rebuild it and have it burn down again. And, of course, we've talked now my entire lifetime. Movies were made about this. What about the big one? Not the big one, 700 WLW, the big one, big one. Let's not forget that California, from Frisco all the way down, y'all live in a giant crack in the earth. Now, can you imagine having the forest fires, the Santa Ana winds, these hurricanes and blizzards of fire, and now at the same time you have a massive 9-point-something earthquake, which is entirely possible. So you're literally built on the most beautiful views and the most beautiful climate that this great country has to offer. But at the same time, you're kind of playing a fool's game in that you're living on top of a tinderbox and you're also living on a giant fault line. And any one of those two things at any one time could trip you up. We're starting to see that relative to fire. What about the earthquake? But we continue to build there because, well, you know what? We're Americans. We've got balls as big as church bells, and we simply don't care. Well, this is the end result of that. And that's not just California. That's Florida. That's Texas. That's a lot of places in this country. That's a lot of places in this country of ours. More on that coming up. We'll switch gears a little bit. Austin Elmore is here. We'll kick around weekend football. Super wild card weekend is now behind us. Really not that super, to be honest with you, except that game last night. But the next round, the divisional round is set. We'll talk to Audie E. and also some Bengals news to talk about, too. Just ahead, Scott Sloan Show returns right after news on the home of the best Bengals coverage, 700 WLW.
This is America. Every day I thank God I live in America.
Thank God we don't live in some slop hole like Britain.
And I thank God for Bill Cunningham. He's the voice of my America.
He's the voice of my America, too.
That's because he's the great American.
The American dream. Willie gives me hope for America.
He knows we can all achieve the American dream.
You've got to work hard and listen to Willie.
Even my dog listens.
That's a great American dog.
This is America.
Bill Cunningham, today at 12 noon on 700 WLW.
The American dream.
You want to know what the VIP stands for in the Ohio Lottery's new VIP Millions game? Very impressive payouts, because this $50 scratch-off has $51 million winners. Plus, with 5 bonus boxes and a chance to multiply your winnings by up to an astonishing 500 times, this game truly lives up to its VIP status. VIP Millions, your best chance ever to win $1 million in Ohio Lottery history. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hi, I'm Tom Call. And I'm Stephanie Quell with the Jack Quell Foundation. Did you know that every day about 224 Americans die from fentanyl poisoning? That's like the equivalent of a plane crashing every day here in America. To learn more, go to doitforjack.org.
Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell presents Mardi Gras, benefiting homeless children, happening 2 weeks earlier this year. It's Tuesday, February 18th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Scott Sloan here, once again, proud to be king of Mardi Gras as we all team up together to provide over 150,000 meals for homeless children shelters right here in the tri-state. Tickets include all your food, all your drinks, live music, a parade. DV8's going to be out there. Got a silent auction. It's a blast and it sells out fast. Get your tickets while they last. Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell or MardiGras2025.org.
It's just like my car radio on my phone.
Adding presets is so much fun.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeart.
Seeing lyrics in the app is incredible.
It's so easy to use.
Nice job, iHeart.
Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeart Radio app today.
Live from the 700 WLW studios. Driven by Mike Castrucci Ford in Milford and Alexandria. Check out the Tri-State's largest inventory of brand new Ford Broncos, Super Duty, and Ford Mustang at MikeCastrucciFord.com. That's Mike Castrucci Ford.
You're listening to 700 WLW. Also available on 94.5 FM W233BG Cincinnati.
News, traffic, and weather. News Radio 700 WLW, Cincinnati.
Steel work on 471 getting underway this morning. With the 10 o'clock report, I'm Rick Uccino. Breaking now, the first of the custom fabricated steel girders have arrived on the Big Mac Bridge, and installation work is getting underway as we speak.
Girders are necessary to support the deck. Without that, we can't have a deck, so we need those girders to get installed so that we can pour the new concrete deck.
ODOT's Kathleen Fuller says 7 girders total are needed to rebuild the ramp that was damaged by last year's fire at Sawyer Point. The rest of those girders slated to arrive this week. Iron workers will be on the job around the clock, bolting that steel in place, keeping them on schedule to complete the necessary repairs within the next couple of months.
We're still hoping for early March. Again, the weather will be the key issue for us because it's going to be difficult, of course, to get all of this accomplished during the winter months because we really don't know what we're going to get until we get it.
You can see photos of the work that's getting underway this morning by going to the 700 WLWX account. Let's check the latest traffic and weather together.
From the UC Health Traffic Center, don't let injury slow you down. Or its medicine experts can help keep you moving. Schedule a same-day appointment at uchealth.com. There's an accident in Northern Kentucky. It is eastbound 275 just before you get to 75 in Erlanger. They're over on the right-hand side. I'm not seeing a delay from Mineola Pike. Traffic elsewhere in much better shape. The southbound 75 included through Laughlin. Chuck Ingram, News Radio 700 WLW.
Now, the latest forecast from the No Fear Dentist Weather Center. Advanced Dentistry. The thought of the dentist you a nervous wreck? We're here for you. NoFearDentist.com.
We will see partly cloudy skies throughout the day today with highs in the mid-20s. Mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Your low drops down to 11. Cloudy for Tuesday. Some spotty snow showers early on in the afternoon, but not much accumulation is expected with a high of 22. It is 26 degrees right now. A Cincinnati man told firefighters he was attempting to clear ice from his front steps with a propane torch last night when he accidentally set fire to his home in Price Hill. The damage was contained to the exterior of the home on Hawthorne Avenue with an estimated cost of $100,000. Repairs, no injured. That's in the Hussman, makers with hopeful aid for wildfires out in Southern California.
Warren Davis is all the fun held from the Golden State. Plus, Democrat Gavin Newsom reforms his state's forestry management practices. His comments came after news pledged officials to not politicize fires that have killed at least 24 and evacuated over 105,000 residents while destroying thousands of homes. Process. Davidson said that they support the people plagued by disaster, but we have to put pressure on the California government to change course here. President Joe Biden has approved a disaster declaration for the fire committee to cover the fire management and debris removal in the next 6 months. I'm Lee Mowen, News Radio 700 LW.
It sounds as though the U.S. Supreme Court is going to uphold a congressional ban on the social media app TikTok by January 19th. That is, unless it's Chinese owners sell the video sharing sites, something they have shown very little interest in doing before. President-elect Donald Trump has promised to save the app, but it's unclear just how he would get that done.
A majority of the justices during arguments Friday seemed likely to uphold a law banning the app in less than a week. Creators are now pleading with fans to follow them elsewhere.
Follow me. You can find me on other platforms.
President-elect Trump has promised to save the video sharing app, and there are a few ways that could potentially happen. Trump could order the Justice Department not to enforce the ban, but tech companies may not feel comfortable breaking the law. Trump could also push Congress to repeal the law, but it passed with broad bipartisan support.
That is ABC's Nicole on Wall, now up 146 points. NASDAQ has lost 233. S&P is off 31 points. Our next update at 10:30. I'm Uchino, News Radio 700 WLW.
This report is sponsored Miami Valley Gaming.
Live Harness Racing is back. Miami Valley Gaming, Sun Thursday at 4. See you at the track, MVG.
Must be 21. Ohio Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-589-9996 or visit org.ohio.gov. Ready to take a break? Visit timeoutohio.com.
Homeowners have to start fresh in 25. It was help take control of your finances by lowering your house payment and consolidating